All right, welcome to the Butler Township Board of Trustees, Tuesday, June 28th meeting. We'll call the meeting to order at 4:01. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, on to approval of the minutes. We have before us tonight the regular meeting minutes of May 24th, 2022, and the workshop meeting minutes of June 14th, 2022. Are there any comments on them?
Nope.
All right, do I have a motion for approval?
I make a motion to approve meeting minutes of May 24th and June 14th.
A second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on to our public hearing, ZC 4-22. We have applicant here tonight. All right. And they're requesting a final development plan at 4079 Little York Road. Ms. Vogel, would you like to share some information on that?
Yes. We've received an application for rezoning from RCS1 Regional Commercial Service to PD2 Planned Unit or Planned Commercial Development for 7.653 acres at 4079 Little York Road. Montgomery County Planning Commission originally denied the case on March 10th based on the permitted uses in our underlying commercial district. The Butler Township Zoning Commission advertised and held a hearing on April 19th, 2022, where they heard the presentation first, and then on May 17th, 2022, they recommended approval of the case with the condition that there are no outdoor accessible storage units on the property. So all of the storage will be within those multi-unit or four-story buildings that are proposed in your packets. And the removal of the faux storage doors that were on the bottom floor of the building. So at this time, the Zoning Commission is recommending approval with those same conditions, and then, of course, with all applicable zoning, engineering, and building regulations being approved.
Okay. Opening the public hearing, do I have any comments for those who are in favor of this development plan? Would you like to step up to the podium? And please remember to state your name and address for the record.
Richard Henry, 7821 Lois Circle, Dayton. I am the applicant. I'm with the company that's applying for this zoning change. I just wanted to comment based off the feedback from the Zoning Commission, the Planning Board. We fed back and worked with them, and I think we did a pretty good job of coming up with a very nice property for your community. So just if there's any feedback from you as well, I'm definitely interested in that.
I like it. I think it's in a good spot, and I think it looks very nice.
Well, it's changed a lot too since the original drawing. That's good.
Yeah, thanks for working with the zoning board and coming up with something that was going to be beautiful for that spot and work for our community. Appreciate you guys.
It's going to be an improvement there, so thank you. All right, do we have any comments for opponents of this development? Seeing none. So there won't be any rebuttal. Let's see. Ask board. Let's see. All right, so I guess we'll close the public hearing at this point. And do we have a motion?
Yeah, first of all, any room for comment, or did we just already skip through there? I just want to say, I guess, first of all, just that I am thrilled that we're doing something with that space. It's been a long time that it's been sitting, so grateful for us to have something that's going to be really a nice building on the end. So I'll make a motion to approve the rezone.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
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 Okay.
All right. So
Thank you.
the next,
You're welcome
thank
to-
you.
Yeah.
And
You're welcome to
you
leave
can
if you would like
stay
to.
for all this public. For you, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming. You too. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments this evening? Good evening, Mr. Oakes.
We got to get you a name flag.
Yeah. Just a reminder, state your name and address for the record, please.
Richard Oakes, 1397 Jackson Road, 45377. Did you get the stuff that I sent you?
I did not. I got 2 more phone calls after I talked to you and did not get to my email before I left the building.
Well, I'm glad I brought these along then. I passed them out to the board members and to you, Erica. This is what I emailed you a little bit ago. This is a picture east of my property. North is into the picture this way. You're looking to the northwest. This is looking, Jeff, straight down Jackson Road to Frederick Pike. Here you can see, if to those of you who have been out there, perhaps the fire hydrant that's at the northwest corner of the current location of the west end of revised Jackson Road, and where they stop the curb at my new east property line. This is a catch basin out here that's located straight across from that, so you can't see it hardly in the picture at all, but there's a little stake right there. That's one that I located as where my new southeast corner is to my property. In other words, to the left of the picture is the old Jackson Road, total 30-foot right-of-way, 15 north, 15 south. And then straight from this line, straight due north to the west. So all of this area from this utility pole here to this stake over to that fire hydrant is my property. And you might be asking yourself, well, why is that excavated? Well, it's not your issue or problem, it's my problem, but there is no paperwork on that, and the city has been going ahead doing what they want to do, and which I'm not real happy about. But this was my attempts at trying to work out an amicable solution with the city and doing in good faith to try to expedite and move things along. This other piece of paper, John, you've probably seen enough of this. You know what it's all about. This represents north being up. This is the new northern extension of Douglas Way, headed up towards Old Springfield, down the half-section line. This next line, if you can look over here to the left of this big red square, this is my current new eastmost property line. And there's a circle out here in the middle that you can kind of see. That's where my new southeast corner is. Yes, my new southeast corner. So these are various comments along here. I had what I felt was a constructive discussion after a very tense meeting on site a couple days before last Friday. And so I called Mr. Applegate up and had a conversation with him. And what I told him was that, and I had emailed this to the county engineer and had a couple conversations with Paul Gruner and Gary Shoup, that I thought I had a win-win situation. I've had a lot of dental work. It's really hard to talk. A win-win situation for everybody because thinking about fire and EMS vehicles, even though subdivision regulations should not apply according to Larry Weissman, Joe Klosterman's replacement out the county, this is too long for a cul-de-sac. So I did what I've done at other locations. I am encouraging a one-way section from the new roadway. I should be pointing over here. The new roadway over to my property line, which is something in the order of 200 feet, to be one-way eastbound, 12, 15 feet wide. These gentlemen over here are going to do what they need to do. If they had to reach somebody from Butler Township or somebody from the east, you've got lights and sirens, you're going to go the wrong way, just like you do an emergency crossover on the interstate, even though it says, emergency vehicles only, so you guys could do that. The residents that live west of me we would be able to exit out to the east. We'd be able to exit out to the west. Any resident that wanted to get back home would have to come in off of Frederick Pike. Well, the rest of that is on there. You can look at it at your leisure. This is to keep you informed. There was a meeting yesterday morning at 9 o'clock. That went south in a hurry. So I actually think what the game plan is, there's no reason for me to say this except my own personal opinion. I think the game plan is to allow the creation of a lot of traffic going westbound on Jackson Road once the crossover is implemented. That way, Crocs, P&G, whatever happens at Amazon, the new buildings that are being built around me over there, those people will be able to go west on Jackson Road and stack up down at Frederick Pike like they do now. And then there will be accidents because, as you gentlemen and Jeff, you know, sight distance looking out of there, especially going westbound, looking to the left at northbound traffic, is very limited depending on how good a job the person has done trimming the trees along the east side of the road there. So eventually the accidents will go up. So it's sort of like, I think the comment would be self-fulfilling prophecy. Now we are creating accidents. Now we have the justification to go in an eminent domain and solve the problem that could have been solved through good engineering. Okay? So heads up, you're not done seeing things up there because Furnace Road is going to be a problem. This isn't your problem specifically, but there's a misalignment problem that is being exacerbated or will be exacerbated at Old Springfield and Frederick Pike. There will be problems at the north end of Dog Lake Road at County Line, which I know by agreement is Monroe Townships. But if they take this road Douglas Way and poke it all the way north of Old Springfield to County Line, you guys are going to have direct responsibility for whatever they do on the west end of County Line, trying to get around the cemetery, which doesn't work, okay, and things like that. So heads up, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to start dealing with. And the other thing I want to plant a seed is now's probably the time to start thinking about reducing the speed limit and doing all the checks, checking all the balance of the new ODOT procedure to go through that to reduce the speed limit on Jackson Road from 45 down to either 40 or 35 miles an hour. There's a whole new ODOT procedure to do that. And if you want somebody to look over your shoulder, I would be happy to do that for nothing. But I won't do it. I'll help you to look over your shoulder. Because somebody along the line said, well, Richard Oakes had a conflict of interest. That's because they don't know me. Okay? Questions, comments?
For you, could you please repeat what you said about the meeting that went south yesterday morning? I missed. What was that about?
I was expressing this concept, and if you were to go out there now, you would see multiple sets of stakes of different alignments, some of which are actually buried in layers in different colors on the sheet that makes it hard to read. I apologize. Actually, I should have said that. What my proposal was, the green that's delineated along here, to build this as temporary, that's my stage 1 and 2 up here at the top center, is to let it be two-way now because I recognize the fact that there's EMS runs coming across Martindale Road and they come and go across Jackson Road. So that's one way to let it be east, okay? So there's no problems there and such. But the whole concept of doing even this green alignment to move it along, that was met with disdain, and that the contractor was directed to go ahead and start working yesterday morning.
Who was this meeting with?
The attendees were Mr. Applegate, Jeff Kern of IBI, Vanessa Glotfelder from IBI, I'm sorry, from the Transportation Improvement District, Director of Engineering, and the contractor, Dusty Ballsball.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you for your comments.
And one last thing is I had a conversation with Gary Shoup yesterday afternoon, if I recall, and he indicated that they had not finished reviewing the last set of plans. And I understand, Erica, you have those comments and stuff, and I would request if you would forward me a set of whatever Gary sent back. I'm interested in keeping track of this, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, just please send me an email about that, and I'll...
A reminder, I can do that. Any other questions?
No, I just wanted to make a comment. The engineer's office did reply to the TID's last set of changes, and they have a few minor comments, but I spoke with Gary at the engineer's office, and he said that he anticipates they will be able to address those within a day or two, and that then they would be okay with everything going forward. So once that happens, I mean, at that point, we would release the right-of-way permit in order for them to start their work connecting to our right-of-way. So once they've addressed all the engineer's comments.
And what you just said reminded me, and after all of this happened yesterday, I immediately started going down the street myself, talking to what few neighbors would still be at home. And the upshot of that was that there were three neighbors in the township that we agreed we were going to go over to the City of Union Council meeting that was per the internet scheduled to be on the fourth Monday. Well, there was no meeting. And so, but you had three of your residents that I showed this to that were willing to go over, wanted to go over to the City of Union Council meeting to express that they didn't like what was going on and they wanted this. So, and I tried to get in touch with those people, but at such late as, because I didn't call you or you called me, I didn't know that there was a meeting tonight at 4 o'clock until about an hour ago. Any other questions? Thank you.
Mr. Snyder, do you have comments for us? Yeah. Step over there and just state your name and address for the record, please.
Kevin Snyder, 7640 Peters Pike. So my attorneys prepared a lawsuit for the township, Montgomery County engineers, and Dries Homes. So I wanted to discuss with you three, because I know it's not fair to you guys. You haven't been here. But how do I proceed with that? Before I file it, I want to just discuss if maybe we could come to some type of agreement before dragging the township through the mud and the media and the courts. What's the lawsuit for? A whole host of things, destruction of my property intentionally. I have the original plat plans where the developer intended to get my property, and it's been denied for 20 years. Illegally throwing me in jail over the damage that they did when I refused to repair it. Coercing against me to try to obtain my property a couple years ago. Illegally raiding me with false evidence that I have all this, which I can't really add that in until that case is dismissed, but all this goes together. It's a 20-year collusion of trying to get my property. And it's time that we fix the water problem for sure, repair my property, and compensate me for all the 20 years of harassment that's been taking place. Slander, defamation, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Who did the slander and all that? Jeff Jordan for sure. My neighbor, who was Doug Orange's buddy, who bought a house behind me and then let the township come up, stand on his porch, and look over the only piece of property that could see in my backyard, write me up. I've got 40, 50 code violations where Jester chased me around town trying to get me off my property. I caught him on my Vandalia business up there and chased him back, and he ran to Hobbs and got into it with Hobbs the 3 months he was here. Bothwell, I mean, there's just a whole host of stuff. But I got 39 complaints on the. I just didn't realize the meeting was earlier. I was going to print it and give it to you to look over. I was going to give it to Missy, but however you want to do it, I can send it to you in a digital file. But I didn't know how you wanted to proceed. But we're going to get to the bottom of it finally after all these years.
Why don't you send it to all three of us?
Can I have the card? Yeah, I don't feel like I have enough. Yeah, there's a lot.
Or you can send it to me, and I'll send it to them and copy you, Kevin. How's that?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know enough. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there, man. But the bottom line is the water needs to be fixed. It's a hazard on the roadway. They were just out there 2 weeks ago addressing the water on the neighbor's property across the street. The road crews had to redo out in front of my house from the water coming through my property onto the road, destroying the property across the street now. So the bottom line is I want the house next to me, the construction that they're getting ready to tear into between me and Lamb, stopped until they address the water problem, which they've denied for 20 years. I've had Kelsey running blocker for 20 years. I've had him out there 5 separate times trying to tell me with a straight face that there's no water problem when I have pictures. I've been at this property since 7th grade. I know the layout, how I have pictures of how it used to be before they did the property. Me and Joe Rangers went around and around about it because I wasn't selling my house originally, so he intentionally raised the property and flooded me out and destroyed my property. Now it's coming in my basement, destroyed my garage. I don't know if they rezoned me, but she wrote me up on gravel out front, and they either did that illegally because I'm still R1, or they rezoned me and did that to include me into the neighborhood and hold me into that sector of codes when all my neighbors on Peters Pike have a gravel turnaround because it's unsafe to back out on Peters because they go down through their 50, 60 mile an hour. So, you know, they threw me in jail over that, charged me a $12,000 fine. And the guy that took me downtown told me that he was instructed to only pick me up before 3 o'clock so that he'd get me in front of a judge and I'd be in contempt of court. So I wonder who did that. You know, there's a lot going on. So I want to get to the bottom of it. I don't want to drag the Butler Township community through the mud, but it needs addressed, and it's not fair to you three because you didn't do it, but it has to be resolved. So.
Okay. And you did file the lawsuit already?
No, I haven't filed it
Okay,
yet. I just
okay.
had the complaint drawn up.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you how you want to handle
Sure.
it because, you know, I don't want to, I want to take the easiest path, the path of less resistance. And I don't want to be adversely affecting the community over some
Sure.
people that aren't even, some of them aren't even here any longer.
What about your lawyer? Are you willing to tell us who that is?
Yeah, he's
or-
on the complaint. It's PJ Convoy.
Okay.
He's on my business and everything.
Okay. I thought maybe it was. I just checking.
Well, there's probably, it depends on how it goes. I might be a team added to that, but I'm trying to keep it simple.
Yeah.
The bottom line is I want my house repaired. That's the bottom line. Sure. I like my $12,500 back and some compensation for being thrown in jail. There's a lot going on there.
Okay.
So.
I say I'm not. Do you guys have any comments?
I just need some more information. I feel like.
Oh, I have plenty of information. We can sit down. I can lay it out for you step by step. 20 years of it.
If
Got
you can-
pictures and I got right here's the plans where the Ringers had took the original plans and then he took a highlighter and went over top of my property with the intent to get it. You know, you can see right where he plans to do stuff that's not on here with a pink highlighter. It's been a coercion from the beginning to get my property, and I've known this all along. So just finally in the position where I can do something about it.
If you can send the comments that we discussed, send it to Ms. Brzezinski, and then we can, she'll send that our direction and look things over. That way we can have some things to kind of look through, and then.
Mr. Snyder, thank you for coming in to address this with us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Be safe. Okay, so seeing no other folks in the audience, we'll move on to item number 6, Administrator's Recommendations. We'll begin with letter A, Resolution number 22-25.
A resolution approving ZC 4-22, a rezoning and final development plan at 4079 Little York Road from RCS 1 to PD 2 for U-Haul moving and storage use.
So we already had comments for this item during our public hearing. Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve Resolution number 22-25, a resolution approving ZC 4-22, a rezoning final development plan at 4079 Little York Road from RCS-1 to PD-2 for a U-Haul moving and storage use.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next item, resolution number 22-26.
Resolution appointing representatives to the Butler Township Budget Commission. Mike Tynes' Budget Committee appointee is Charlie Brown, and Bryson Jackson's Budget Commission appointment is Mark Whetstone.
Okay, do you have any comments on these appointments, gentlemen?
Just excited for them to be involved.
They're both, yeah.
I
They both know
agree.
each other real well, too.
They'll do a great job. Mhm. All right, do I have a motion?
I motion to approve resolution number 22-26, a resolution appointing representatives to the Butler Township Budget Commission.
A second.
Yes.
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 Are you going to contact them?
Yeah, I'll contact them and let them know. We'll probably, we don't usually start meeting till towards the end of September, early October, but we'll get in touch and let them know how we do it, so.
All right, resolution number 22-27.
Okay, a resolution authorizing the administrator to enter into an agreement with TrustPar for install and implementation of Office 365. I know we've had lots of conversations about this. The total cost, the larger cost obviously is the transition, which is quoted at an hourly rate, and it's $31,250 to get through all of the implementation. Annual cost is $9,000.48 across all departments for the licensing fees, and then there's some one-time fees in there at $1,664.97.
Any comments from the board? Okay, do I have a motion?
I motion to approve resolution number 22-27, a resolution authorizing the administrator to enter into an agreement with TrustPar for its install and implementation of Office 365.
A second.
Yes.
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 Okay, resolution number 22-28, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase necessary equipment and install vehicle markings for 4 new Dodge Durango police vehicles. The total of all quotes is $138,890.98. This is for KE Rose, Yipe Stripes for the barking, Stop Stick LTD, Bright Computers, and WatchGuard for the in-car camera systems. There's additional $500 added on there just for incidental fees or increases from the original quotes. And 2 of the vehicles, the KE Rose portion of the quote will be paid for out of the Harson TIF Fund 2902. That's $48,762, and the remainder will be paid out of the police fund.
All right, comments from the board? No? A motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution number 22-28, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase necessary equipment and install vehicle markings for 4 new Dodge Durango police vehicles.
A second.
Yes.
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 Okay, resolution 22-29, this was added to the agenda, resolution authorizing the renewal of the mutual aid agreement between Butler Township Police Department and the City of Vandalia Police Department. And this is a 5-year agreement that expired this June. So just a renewal, and there was no changes to the former agreement. And everything seems to be working smoothly.
Great.
All right, any comments from the board?
No comment.
Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve resolution number 22-29, a resolution authorizing the renewal of the mutual aid agreement between the Butler Township Police Department and the City of Vandalia Police Department.
A second.
Yes.
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 Okay, next a motion to set public hearing for ZC 5-22, a final development plan for 3339 and 3331 Benchwood Road for the Chick-fil-A restaurant site improvements on July 12th, 2022 at 6 p.m. That would be at our workshop meeting.
Any comments from the board?
What is that one again?
That's Chick-fil-A's drive-through expansion. So they purchased the house next door, and their drive-through would actually start at the west side of the, where Frisch's starts, basically. The drive-through would come in there off the access drive, nothing off of Benchwood, but still off the access drive and come around the building. It includes like the canopy structures for the outdoor ordering.
Like the Huber Heights one?
Yes, it'll include that, but it allows for 54 vehicles to stack around the site, so alleviating the issue that we have on Commerce Center Drive with, traffic hanging out on Commerce Center. So that'll be
Nice.
amazing. And then the parking lot will be reworked. There's a kitchen addition and like a online ordering like area that's being added. They're actually removing some dining room seats because they don't utilize the dining room as much. But yeah, and some facade improvements too, like canopies on the building and stuff like that. So.
Did that go before the zoning board, or is that just coming straight to us?
Yes, it went to them, and they have recommended approval.
Great.
And what was the stacking number?
54 cars.
54. Wow.
Yep, double drive-through with 54 cars.
Nice. Okay.
More of the Lord's chicken for Butler Township.
All right. No more comments? All right. How about a motion?
I make a motion to set the public hearing for ZC 5-22, final development plan for 3339 and 3331 Benchwood Road, Chick-fil-A restaurant site improvements for July 12th, 2022 at 6 p.m.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay, and a motion to authorize the HVAC repair and compressor purchase for the Township Government Center in the amount of $3,320.50, paid for from the police and general fund.
All right. Any comments?
We are just lucky that it ended up being a couple-day repair rather than a month, because that was what they originally told us. So.
And not 100 degrees out.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to authorize the HVAC repair and compressor purchase at the Township Government Center in the amount of $3,320.50 from the Police Fund number 2081 and General Fund number 1000.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay. Lastly, a motion to reschedule the meeting of July 26th, 2022. I think a couple people have mentioned that they are not able to make that meeting, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to just cancel that regular meeting and just have the workshop meeting that we have scheduled for the 12th, or if we want to pick another day, like the 1st of August or something like that, to have that regular meeting.
That's up to you guys.
We have one on the 12th. Is that correct?
Yes, we would have the workshop on the 12th, and, we could change that to a regular meeting since we have the public hearing too, and then just cancel the 26th, or, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
probably get everything done in one meeting, if we, and then I guess we could always schedule a meeting in August if it comes up that there is something that needs approved prior to our next meeting.
On the 9th
Yeah,
of August.
but it's kind of,
Yep, fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So that whole week is out, so we couldn't do like something on the 27th or a different day that week if something came up urgent?
so instead of the 26th,
Like have a backup date if there's something urgent?
yeah, we can pick a backup date if that's what you guys want to do. And we can go ahead and schedule it and then cancel it if it's not needed, if that's what you'd rather do.
I'll be out that entire week, so that's are you going to be in town?
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be.
That's
next
actually,
year.
yeah, the 29th is the parade too. I mean, it may,
Thank you for reminding us of that, Porter. Bryson, I'll be out of town. No. I'm just kidding. I'll be working all weekend. So, no, I'll be here. Okay, so I guess if something comes up, we'll just figure out a new date real quick then.
yeah, that's fine. As
Okay.
long as we have, a couple days ahead of time, we can always advertise and post and everything
fine.
for it.
So you guys want to do the 12th?
Well, so we've got the 12th in July, but then we'd have the 2nd of August if we reschedule for another Tuesday.
We can reschedule that to a regular meeting instead of a workshop if you
The
don't.
2nd of August?
The,
What
I
do you
mean, the
The
12th
12th of
meeting,
July.
July 12th meeting.
So we could make that a regular board
Yeah,
meeting.
let's do that.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, that's true. Good point there.
Man, Porter's
So,
on
so just regular meeting for July 12th
it. Yeah,
at 6 p.m.
correct. And then
Okay.
I think it's probably best for us to leave it at that for now, and then if there are needs that arise, we can put
Yeah.
something on the calendar.
We actually scheduled we do the Records Commission meeting And we're going to schedule that prior to that public hearing on July 12th, so at like 5:45. It only takes a couple minutes to go through those approvals and stuff, so
Great.
we'll do that as well. So at 5:45,
Okay,
we'll do that, and then regular meeting at 6.
on the 12th.
Yep.
Sounds like a party.
Don't miss it. So I guess you'll have to change that for me.
Yeah, I'll update the calendar.
Okay, because my phone's frozen. Okay then.
Yes.
Okay. Are we moving on?
Yep, I think we're good.
All right. Okay, so July 12th will be our regular meeting for July. All right. Next item is informal business. Chief Porter, do you have anything for us this evening?
Just a couple little things. Reminder, Tuesday the 5th is our monthly Coffee with Cop from 9 a.m. to 10:30 at Winans. National Night Out, as I mentioned before, is going to be August the 2nd. And that'll be from 5 to 8 over at Stone Springs Nursing Home. Once again, they are hosting much of it. And along with that, we just received over the weekend our yearly Walmart grant in the amount of $4,000. It's a Walmart community grant that we use for Shop with a Cop, Christmas with Cops, and for National Night Out and a lot of other different events throughout the year for our benefit fund.
Awesome.
So that was a very nice surprise. We weren't expecting it so early in the year. So.
Nice.
Excellent.
Good job on that.
What time's that coffee?
9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 10:30. And once again, thank you again for the approval of the equipment for the police cars. We're expecting delivery of them within the next couple weeks, and this way we can go ahead and get the equipment scheduled to be purchased so that they can try to get them into the mix as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's fast.
So yeah.
Nice.
Well, part of our agreement with the purchase of the vehicles was that they had to be delivered within 60 days. So
I'm surprised they made it.
Let me guess when the 68th day is.
what's that?
Wait, is that the last day they're getting it on the 68th day?
I don't know. Could be.
Well, they're not here yet.
Yeah.
All right. Chief Alick?
Just one real quick thing. If you remember back, I reported several times that our newest netting, keep having problems with it. Keeps saying that a door is open and it's not, and it has a warning signal and a visual signal. So they've been working on it we're working on 14 months. So I've screamed and complained as most I could. It now went back to Loudonville, Ohio yesterday afternoon. Two engineers from the manufacturer from Florida that both came in, and they're working on it totally nonstop until they get it fixed. And I have requested for reimbursement for gas and some mileage and some maybe extended warranty or something, since our citizens have paid a lot of money for that. I think that's probably our best medic, and we continually had the same problem for over a year plus. So hopefully it'll get finalized. Everybody's trying. It's just they can't figure out what's going on. It's the only medic in their fleet, and they make thousands of medics everywhere all over the United States every year. So I think it's haunted. I don't know what it is. During COVID, if that tells you anything.
That tells
That's
all.
it.
That's all I have. Just to keep you up to date on that. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Burnett?
The roadside mower, we got that back from Apple Farm Services. We have made one full round through the township. Making a second round now. So it'll look a lot better once that second round is done, because things are a little bit out of control. Sorry for that. Not much I could do about it. You still don't have the reach mower option though, so there's no way to basically reach out behind guardrails, and that option's gone until the new mower arrives. If you're getting complaints from anybody in regards to any of that, let me know. The county said they would help us if we needed it. Anyway, so that's back in action. We got the pavement analysis came back. It's complete from the National Pavement Analysis LLC. Erica and I sat in on that this morning. Yeah, so we'll get a lot of talk about that, I guess, moving forward. But that's back. So that's all I got.
All right. Fiscal Officer Brush? Excellent.
Yeah, you know, on it.
All right. Trustee Bryson Jackson.
Yeah, a couple things. So it's been an eventful month. Was grateful at the beginning of this month to have the opportunity to do a full day's ride along with Chief Porter and see our men and women in blue operate throughout the township. So that was incredibly enlightening to see all of the different ways in which they serve our community, and was happy to have that opportunity. It was cool. Chief Porter even allowed me to shoot some of the guns they were testing that day, and some of those opportunities were definitely fun things that I was not expecting. And then also I'll say that one of the things that was the most enlightening to me was the way in which our officers respectfully handle those that are on Miller Lane and the ones on the street corners, and the way that they genuinely work to serve those individuals and work to find solutions and treating them with dignity and respect, which is something that, you know, I observed and then also saw, you know, the amount of work that they're putting in, and love to see that. And it just furthers my resolve as a leader here to continue to give them as much support as they can in that, and to be a part of solutions for that business district. With the business district in mind, I thought that our first meeting that we had with business people from the community here this past week was very successful and professionally done, and excited to see the dialogue that's being entered into as we look to what we're going to do with Benchwood Station area, and very hopeful for what that all will entail. So I think that that as we look at that situation, that there is a lot of things to be excited about, and happy about the dialogue that's being entered into. Even with certain ones who you know have opinions and whatever, I think it's good for us to be able to hear them out and walk through those things, and come up with some situations that's going to be good for our businesses and our residents. And lastly, as we look towards this weekend, going to be excited to celebrate the 4th. Lots of opportunities. For one, just want to invite the board and others who would want to attend to the Freedom Celebration over at the church. Will be a wonderful cruise-in and car show, along with food trucks and concert and all of the things. And then it'll be fun to be with some of you for the celebration over at the rec center as well, and catch those fireworks and celebrate the 4th. So praying that the community stays safe out there this weekend, and that it'll be a good time for our families and all of our residents. That's all.
Thank you. Very nice. Mr. Tyne, do you have any comments?
One, I just want to thank John for that. We drove by Miller Lane, and these signs we put up, we saw one of the panhandlers had to put a sign over the sign. I basically called Johnny, sent somebody over there, and it was funny for a couple of days. I don't know if the word got out. There was no one around there. I'm over there about every day. Y'all do. So anyway, that was because the first time my wife and I were going to dinner, and I said, I want to show you these new signs. And I'm like, I was like, that ain't good. So anyway, thanks for that. I think that is getting a little traction. I am excited about the business district meetings. I mean, thanks for putting that together, Erica, because I think it's getting us out in front of these people and trying to get them involved.
Yes.
Because otherwise I think they think that we're not helping them. So, and I think it's given them a good opportunity, just like the guy that owned the hotel. I mean, we wouldn't have known what months are good or
Right.
not. I mean, that's good
Very
stuff.
valid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the relationship that I'm hoping that we can build with that business district.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to, I think the next meeting will be a little bit different. But I think that it'll be good that we're getting, and I like some of the other stuff that we're seeing, like from Walmart and stuff like that, not seeing it as a big deal as some other people are. So anyway, that's all I have. Everybody have a great 4th.
Yeah, nice.
Stay healthy.
Nice comments. Ms. Vogel, I skipped you earlier.
Oh, you're fine.
By accident, though.
The only thing, I think everybody touched on all the events, except for the Taste, obviously, is tonight. So if anybody wants to head out to the Taste after this meeting. And then the cruise-in is August 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. So, and then, yeah, and
Freedom Run?
our Optimist Club,
Freedom Ride?
yep, puts on the Freedom Tour on July 4th in the morning, so that's exciting. Yep.
All right, and I don't have anything new to add, so do I have a motion to pay the bills?
I motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that. Wake him up over there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, with no further business on the agenda, we'll adjourn at 4:47.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Hey, nice little pile up there in front of our office today, wasn't it? Four-car pile up. I didn't even hear him hit. I just looked